Michael Collins Ajereh, better known as Don Jazzy, is a Nigerian multi-award-winning record producer, singer-songwriter, musician, former CEO of Nigerian record label Mohits Records founded in 2004 and current CEO of the Mavin Records label which he founded in May 2012 after his split up with childhood friend and Mohits partner, DBANJ. Born in Umuahia in Abia State, his first signing was DBANJ, who was at the time also the vice president of the label and now president after split. Don Jazzy's first full-credit production work was in 2004 on Tongolo for Nigerian singer DBANJ. He went on to produce DBANJ's first studio album titled No Long Thing released in 2005. He has produced tracks for Dr. Sid, Wan Cole, Prince, Dari, Nito C, Olakunle Zanga, Source Kid, Ikukwu and Tiwa Savage. He also collaborated with Jay-Z and Kanye West on the production of Lift Off, featuring Beonka copyright on the album Watch the Throne, released on August 8, 2011. He recently was rated as the 36th most powerful celebrity in Africa according to Forbes. Early life: Michael Collins Ajereh was born in Umuahia and hailed from Delta State. His family moved to Ajegun City in Lagos State where he was raised, and graduated from Federal Government College Lagos. Michael had always had a flair for music, singing and playing the drums from the age of 4. He developed a passion for the bass guitar at the age of 12. He went on study business management at the Ambrose Ali University Ikpoma in Edo State. He moved to London in the United Kingdom in 2000 after his uncle invited him to come play the drums for the neighborhood church. Various odd jobs followed, including working at McDonald's and as a security guard. Already imbued with an intimate knowledge of traditional and percussion instruments, Don Jazzy further built on his musical knowledge during his UK stint. Finding fellow kindred spirits in the likes of Select, JJC, Kaz, the 419 Squad and DBANJ, the gang would spend unrelenting hours practicing, recording and performing different types of music. Jazzy's appetite for a full-time career in music could no longer be satiated when, in 2004, he partnered with DBANJ to set up the Mohits label. Within 2 years, the prolific producer had wrapped up 2 albums with his former Mohits partner and was working on a third, Curriculum Vitae. By this time, he had already started becoming a household name with the trademark intro "It's Don Jazzy again." In 2008 there were further production credits for the best-selling album of that year. The entertainer Don Jazzy repeated the trick with Wand Cole's Mush in 2 Mohits, an album that was described as one of the best albums to ever come out of Nigeria. Voice, fashion and social networking. Although not acknowledging himself as a recording artist, he is responsible for doing most background vocals for artists he produces for and sometimes does complete verses. His musical dexterity can be heard through his beats and well-calculated vocals. He assists to the likes of DBANJ, Source Kid, Dr. Sid, Ikukwu, Queen, Prince and even Jay-Z and Kanye West on their Watch the Throne track Lift Off, featuring Beonka copyright. The soft-spoken humble producer who is known to grant less interviews, is an avid user of social networking sites with Twitter being his top. With over 200k followers, he is known to give birthday shout-outs to fans, give airtime recharge cards, iPads, and even money via Twitter. Such connection to fans has earned him a song by some Twitter fan, special for his birthday, sing him praises and wishing him a long life. His love for exquisite African fabrics and male Indian gowns isn't a secret, but he is known to go with his own liking, switching whenever he feels like. At one point in 2011, he was frequently noticed to wear pajamas on daily basis. In an interview he said, "They are more comfortable. I prefer to call them colorful trousers." He is also known to wear sunglasses, carry walking sticks, of which he has several, and alternating bling chains, African jewelry and rosary. Mohits God. Music and Mohits End. In 2011 his talents got him noticed by Kanye West, who signed him up as a producer on his Good Music label. With over 100 production tracks to his name, the understated genius has worked with a host of local and international celebrities. In spite of his whirlwind superstardom, Don Jazzy has never forgotten his humble beginnings and is very passionate about charitable causes. A video surfaced in the internet on YouTube, showing the signing of the deal, and Kanye West made a surprise appearance at the Coco concert in London to officially show support and awarded DBANJ with his chain, as a gesture of welcoming him to good music. However, after 8 years of hard work and struggles to set up the Mo Hits label, around March 2012, rumors of irreconcilable differences between the label heads had been circulating. The die-hard fans of the record label and fans of the synergy of Don Jazzy and DBANJ were torn apart, with tweets by Don Jazzy saying rumors you have all heard recently are sad but true. The way forward now is to make sure I keep bringing you guys more of the beautiful music Euro unregistered trademark all love to dance to, Samsung deal, Mavin Records and Mavin League. On the wake of the split up, Samsung unveiled their Built for Africa products including an Afro-pop home theater which has been developed through the EQ tuning of a sound-optimized equalizer undertaken by leading African celebrity, Don Jazzy. The launch took place in Cape Town, and Don Jazzy had the following to say, previously, in 2011, Samsung were focused on the consistent improvement on sound quality and levels which they were very successful in. However, product innovations such as this one will drive the demand and brand loyalty towards their products far more, and as long as they continue with this type of product development and drive, I am sure they will continue to deliver strong, market-relevant products built specifically with the African consumer in mind, concludes Don Jazzy. Later in the year, on May 7 , Don Jazzy kept his promise of a new beginning, taking to Twitter to announce his new record label known as Mavin Records and further promised to release a compilation album of the label artists the very next day. The album, which was executive produced by him, has gathered critical reviews, while blessing the fans with hit songs like Amaraki, Forever, Umuahia, Take Banana and Chocolate. Others are such as CPR, YOLO and the label's anthem Mavin. The multiple award-winning producer also announced that Tiwa Savage will be joining the Mavin family. The signing of Savage, one of Nigeria's leading vocalists, is seen as a major coup for the budding record label, and Don Jazzy promised fans that there are many more exciting faces to be activated by the label in the near future. Don Jazzy was quoted saying, "I see Mavin Records being the powerhouse of music in Africa in the shortest possible time, and for the love of social networking." The new label proceeded to make their own social network site known as Mavin League, which is a platform for the label's fans to socialize and interact, but also a place for latest news and updates about the label. The label boasts an addition of Tiwa Savage to part of the former members of Mo Hits Records, who is now the label First Lady, with a promise of more addition of Mavins in the near future. On November 5, 2013, he had a cold fight with his former label Act over stolen of music production from him. While on November 7 his record label released official statement of cold departure from the label. In September 2014, Don Jazzy calls on Ricardo Banks and unregistered trademark Jar for a rise dedicated to Nigeria. This is a clarion call to all Nigerians to wake up. Production discography, albums, DBANJ No Long Thing, DBANJ Rundown Funk You Up, DBANJ The Entertainer, Mo Hits All Stars Curriculum Vitae, Anaconda 334, Booty Call 513, Close to You 343, Hey Girl 508, Igby Me 540, Masquerade 402, No Long Thing 315, Olelu 421, Stop the Violence 637, Why Me 516, Jarsi 250, Wand Cola Mushing 2 Muits I Know You Like It 310, You Bad 405, Say Now I Like This 412, Kiss Her Hands 354, Confused 420, Say Ope 322, Now It's All Gone 424, Bumper 2 Bumper 344, Who Born the Maga 304, That's What's Up 442, Bananas 359, Taboo 424, Jehovah 402, Olelu 456, 1010 347, My Grind 448, Been Long You Saw Me, Private Trips, Golo 350, The Kick 310, Rotate 320, Dr. Sid Turning Point, When This Song Comes On, Over the Moon, something. About you, Winkai Winkai, pop something, Balmy Joe, feet. Ikukwu, Mindelde, Baby J Joe, pillow, something about you, Winkai Winkai, Mavins a Euro Solar Plexus Mavin Records, intro by Mavins, I'm Amavin by Mavins, Omega by Tiwa Savage, YOLO by Dr. Sid C. Miri by Wand Cole, Take Banana by Prince, CPR by Dr. Sid Forever by Wand Cole, Why You Over There by Prince, Chocolate by Dr. Sid Pretty Girls by Wand Cole, Amaraki by Prince, Outro by Mavins, Singles, Mo Hits Artists, Prince Amoba One Like What I See, Use, Give It To Me, DBANJ, Tongolo, Soko, Mobula Woan, Why Me? Rundown, Kaimon, Run Mage, Bino Feli, Entertainer, Suddenly, Fall in Love, Igwe Mr. Endowed, I Do This, Scapegoat, Ashanti, Mr. Endowed Oliver Twist, Wan Cole, Bumper to Bumper, You Bad, Kiss Your Hand, Who Born the Maga, Been Long You Saw Me, Go Low Drive Sid, Something About You, Winkai Winkai, Pop Something, Feet. DBANJ, Over the Moon, Chocolate, YOLO, CPR, Afif, Chocolate West African Remix, Chocolate East African Remix, Lady Don Dada, Love Mine, Talented, Baby Tornado Remix, Surula, Mo It's All Stars, 1010, Nona Euro Mo Hits Artists, Daria Euro Escalade Part 2, Daria Euro Stroke Me, Shanka Euro Never Felt, Nito Ca Euro Eswo, Ikukwu Euro Like You, Ikukwu Euro Windham Well, Ikukwu Euro Do, Ikukwu Euro All On Me, Ikukwu Euro Critical Feat. DBANJ, Ikukwu Euro Now Is The Time, Source Kid a Euro Under G Kanai West and JZ a Euro Lift Off, Weird MC a Euro Ajoya, Awards, Nigerian Music Awards 2006 Producer of the Year, Nigerian Entertainment Awards 2007 Music Producer of the Year, The Head is a Euro Producer of the Year, References.